I hope everybody had a fabulous holiday weekend and that everybody is safe and sound after all the festivities. I myself enjoyed some peace and quiet. I mentioned in a previous video that there was a lot of work that was about to take place on the cabin, and most of that work took place over just a couple of days. It was very frantic. It was almost too much to keep up with the guys and try to document everything that they were doing. It was very involved, the work that they did. So that's why I'm splitting this up into multiple videos. I have at least 2 more construction videos in this series coming up, and then potentially more for later this summer as things begin to take place on the inside of the cabin. And let me tell you, I am so thankful to my contractor and his crew for allowing me to chase them around with the camera all the time. They have been more than gracious with me pointing that camera in their direction at every turn. And I am so thankful for them allowing me to film and document the process here on my cabin. They actually took on another project that I was not originally expecting. I'll show that here in a bit in the video, but I want to just kind of touch base over some of the other things that have been accomplished here on the property. So all the insulation is up in the cabin, and that is good to see. It has made a huge difference. I can't imagine right now, if they hadn't got the insulation up, what the temperature inside the cabin would be. If they hadn't done that, I don't think I could stand to be in the cabin right now, because I walked into the Arctic entry yesterday and there's no insulation in that part of the cabin, and nor will there be, because in the wintertime, I want that room to stay really cold as it possibly can, because I'll be keeping my freezers in there, and the less they have to work, the better off it'll be on the electricity bill. But I walked into there yesterday. Oh, it was sweltering in that room because there's no ventilation in there unless I open up the door and, have the wind coming through the screen door. And if there was no insulation in the cabin, I don't think I could stand to be in there right now. It is so hot here right now. I know it is not really 120 degrees outside, but that's what the thermometer says it is. 120 degrees. Whew. In reality, it's almost 90 degrees right now. And this is in the shade. It is way too warm outside. Right now there's a bit of a breeze, and that is rather pleasant and enjoyable, because otherwise it's just stagnant and hot. And that breeze is actually another one of those little sweet surprises, because it has been rather still here recently. No wind, just heat, just pure sun, no clouds whatsoever. Over the course of the past couple weeks, there have been many sweet surprises here at the cabin. And nonetheless has been the feedback that I got from the Q&A videos. Getting all the feedback and the lovely comments that I received from everybody just reminds me, that this is an enjoyable part of my process here, is documenting this and being able to share that. And so I appreciate everyone that watches my videos, and I hope that if you're watching that you will subscribe if you haven't already, and that you remember to give this video a thumbs up, a like, and comment down below. I love the conversations that take place with you, and that there's conversations taking place between each of you as well. In addition to all the lovely comments that I have received, I also received some lovely gifts in the mail from some of you. I want to share these with everybody, and I want to say thank you to those of you that decided to send me something. So one of the things that I just recently received is I received some lovely candles, a note, and some music from Big T. And if you don't know, I link to Big T's Gazette in the description of all my videos and at the end of my videos. So be sure to check out his Gazette. And so I hope that you're willing to go over and give him a view as well on not only his channel, but on his Gazette. And these candles are adorable. I plan on putting these out during the holidays for sure. They're just too cute not to do that with. And so thank you, Big T, for that, and the music, as well as the note, all of it. I love it. But I received a lovely note from Janice, and you know, just a handwritten letter in the mail, this means a lot to me, to get a handwritten note like this. It takes time to construct a letter, and this letter not only was a sweet surprise to receive, but it touched my heart, and I really appreciate all the effort that Janice put into writing this letter and sending it off to me. Janice, I probably won't be writing you back though, not because I don't think you deserve a letter in kind in return. However, my handwriting is atrocious and you probably wouldn't be able to read it. So I'll spare you the suffering of trying to read through my horrible handwriting, but I do appreciate this nonetheless, and thank you. My heart is with you, and I appreciate all the detail that you put into this letter. I also received some lovely jellies from Free Spirit Jim, and they were salmonberry. I should say they are. I ate some of it, but not all of it yet, though that will happen soon. Some salmonberry, and then one that was salmonberry and blueberry mixed with honey. And oh my goodness, delicious. I really, really like jams and jellies, so thank you for that. Be sure to check out Free Spirit Jim's YouTube channel. The link will be in the description box below. And I had not actually eaten salmon berries before arriving here, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but they're very tasty. The contractors, as I mentioned in a previous video, you know, they were expected to make several holes into the cabin for the trapdoor going into the root cellar, adding a back door to the cabin, and putting in a new window. Unfortunately, a not so sweet surprise is the window's not ready to go in just yet, and that will be coming up in a future video. And so will the doors, because there was a lot of additional work that took place with the doors. But in the meantime, my contractor was able to provide me with an additional construction project that I was not expecting. And so instead of telling you what it is, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it is. And then I will come back and I'm going to share with you a recipe that is sure to take the bite off of this heat and cool things down a little bit. So stay with me. There's lots coming up in this video. So let's go ahead and dive right into what that sweet surprise is. Isn't this a fantastic surprise? Like, so not expecting to get this built this year. I thought that I would be building this myself, to be quite honest with you. Though I will admit, while I know construction principles, I've never actually built any structure before. You know, I've fixed things around my homes, but I come up with creative solutions to things, though they don't always translate well from here to finished project. So I'm so thankful that my contractor suggested this and that we did this. This was originally supposed to be a temporary structure as we utilized some of the materials for the deck that I was originally planning on having built this year, because some of those materials had already been purchased. And originally we thought, well, we could just tear this down and then reuse those things when we go to do the deck. But I might convince him to leave this and I'll just repurchase materials when I go to do the deck, even though I know they're going to be more expensive. But this is needed and the deck is a luxury. So we'll see. But this is awesome. I am so happy. Talk about a sweet treat. I'm a simple girl. It really doesn't take much to make me happy. Nothing fancy for this girl. It's all just, let's keep it simple. It can be pretty. Doesn't have to be over the top though. And I should be able to get roughly 5 cords in here when all said and done. No more having to go out and shovel feet off of the wood stacks in the dead of winter to get the wood out. This will keep it protected. I'll just have to rake off the top of this, which is easy enough to do. I can reach this easily with the snow rake. I should be set for winter. This is fantastic. I have 3 more cords coming here in the next couple of days, which I'll be able to get the majority of that in here. And then any additional wood that comes, I'm actually going to stack that in the Arctic entry, so that I always have, dry wood inside at the ready. Regardless of what the weather or the temperature is outside, I should be able to get to it. So thank you to my contractor for this amazing addition to the cabin. And I actually think it looks really nice. It looks right at home on the edge of the Arctic entry here. So I have one more sweet surprise. And that is, now that I have stacked all this wood, I'm going to treat myself to some pralines and cream ice cream. And I'm going to share with you how I made this. So it's a no churn ice cream. It comes together just like all my recipes very quickly. As you can tell, I like to eat well, but I don't like to spend forever cooking. So everything I make is pretty speedy in the kitchen. But let's show you how to get this pralines and cream ice cream mixed up, and then you can have yourself a sweet surprise as well, or surprise those that you care about with some ice cream. It's kind of interesting to walk out and see the grouse right there. Like, it's this front door is just over there and the grouse was right there. So that was really cool. In fact, she had all her little chicks with her. There had to be 6 or 7 chicks with her. It was a lot, but they were in the shrubbery, so they were a little harder to get on film. But over the last couple of days, as I've opened the doors to go out, I have run into more and more wildlife. So that fence that I have planned for the back of the cabin is looking more and more necessary. Sometimes I question, do I really need it? Because I really don't see anything and I'm not out at night. But just when you think it's safe to go back in the water, you find out different. But I also have one more thing that I need to discuss with everybody, and that is that there are some scams taking place on YouTube and Instagram. And I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that I will never contact anybody directly and ask for money. So if you get an email from me, a message on YouTube or Instagram, asking you to send me money via WhatsApp or any other platform, that's not me. I will never reach out to you directly and ask you for money. That's not how this works. So please protect yourself from these scammers and don't give them any of your personal information. And I appreciate you watching. That's support in and of itself. So thank you, and please stay safe. To make the no churn pralines and cream ice cream, what you're going to need is the following ingredients: a pint of heavy whipping cream, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, bits and pieces of pralines or candied pecans. You could also make butter pecan ice cream the same way by just toasting some pecans in a little bit of butter in a skillet. And then you're gonna need 1 can of sweetened condensed milk and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Let that melted butter come to room temperature before using. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and whip up the heavy cream. By whipping your heavy cream inside a really cold bowl or setting your bowl inside a container of ice, you ensure that that cream is gonna come together quickly and nicely. If you were to do this in a warm condition, you might find that you wind up making butter instead of whipped cream. And I've done that. It's not ideal. So I've learned to pre-chill my bowl, set it in a bowl of ice, especially in a hot climate like it is today. And then I have no issues with getting the whipped cream to whip up nicely and quickly. If you have a stand mixer or an electric mixer, you can do this much quicker that way than doing it by hand. But ultimately, this did not take me but about maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes to whip up that whipped cream by hand and then stir everything together. Within about 5 minutes, you can have this recipe put together. Okay, so now that we have some good sturdy whipped cream, I'm gonna start by folding in our Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. So you wanna make sure that you're doing this in a folding motion so that you don't deflate the cream. It's the whipping of the cream that's gonna make this light and airy like a churned ice cream. Okay, so now that everything is pretty much uniform in color, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my vanilla to my butter. About 1.5 teaspoons. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fold in the pecans at the same time. These are actually pralines since they're candied pecans. And then I'm just gonna stir that around until everything is incorporated. And I'm not seeing any more streaks of white or cream in there, no more butter streaks. And that's that. It is that simple. And I just put it in the freezer where it will sit for the next few hours. I say, depending upon the temperature of your freezer, you might be able to have ice cream in as little as 4 hours. I'm gonna leave this overnight, and then tomorrow, I'm gonna be able to enjoy a nice bowl of ice cream. As I said before, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please also give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful or entertaining. I look forward to seeing your comments down below. And until next time, please stay safe and take care. Enjoy these outtakes, as well as make sure to stick around to see some previous videos that I recommend. You watching all the action?
And action.
Over the last couple of weeks, there have been many sweet little surprises here at I thought it was a mosquito. Itching my leg, but it's the cord to my microphone. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you'll do so. And remember, as you watch this video, to give it a like and a thumbs up if you find it useful or entertaining. And I look forward to reading your comments. And also, I'm getting bit by a mosquito. Ugh. This is probably the worst place to be standing, especially with a black shirt on. I'm gonna put this stuff down here and wipe away the mosquito on my forehead, which probably now I have blood streaked across my forehead.
Ew.
I'm really getting eaten alive here.